Greetings and welcome to Flavourful Eats. I am your host Hamsha Naidu. Joining me today is Irena Hentea. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here, Hamsha.
A realtor, a photographer, and a very good mom. And I got to know you through photography. Thank you. We've taken some good photographs of my family and I. But today we are cooking, my favorite thing to do. And we're doing lentils and spinach as our main characters for spring.
That's right.
Yes. So with that, we're going to get started with lentils, which is whole lentils right here.
Yeah.
And then you got the split one, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
And to make things go quicker, you've already added water.
Yeah.
And this is a pound of lentils?
It's a pound of lentils, and you can rinse them. Obviously, you should rinse them initially and then just add it with some water. Cook it on high, put a cover on it, and in about half an hour, it's at the level that you'd want it for the dish. They cook quickly. You can make this in the morning, and then by the evening, when you get home, you'll have them ready to go. And I will show you how to make a couple of things that are so simple. So it's spicy lentils, and if you, of course, you prefer to have a mild, just use a mild tomato sauce. This is Arrabiata sauce. Just choose the one that you like. And this is, I have here 2 cups. So I have 1 cup in here, 1 cup in here. Again, 1 pound of lentils here. And you just add this to the mixture. And again, you're not cooking the lentils all the way through. They're just because you're going to add these flavors. Yes. And then you also want to add to the mixture 1 cup, 1 onion. So this is already cut. Hamsha actually chopped. Hamsha already did it for me, so no tears for me today. But just 1 big onion, or whatever onion you have, and we're going to put a little bit of oil, actually a little bit that one, just a tiny bit of oil in here. We're going to do this golden.
Oh, so you're going to fry it until golden brown?
Yes.
Okay.
And the other thing you add in here is salt and pepper. And I love this Malden sea salt flakes. There's a wonderful store nearby in Westford that does that carries British.
Oh,
and
yes.
Yeah, so
yes,
that's where I got introduced by it. It's called British Delights in Westford.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And then some pepper. So I will add to taste, but it's about a whole. And then of course, if you have anybody in the family who can't have salt, just add the salt at the end then. And then, of course, pepper. And I do a generous amount of pepper.
So the good thing about this dish, lentils are very, very, very healthy for you. It's low fat.
Yes.
It's got nice fiber. And, if somebody's trying to figure out a weight loss something, that's a great dish to have. You have the tomatoes. You have all your nutrients in this one.
Yeah.
Very, very high in protein.
Yes.
And it's called fast food because it boils so quickly.
It is.
So now do you just put the lid on and leave it to cook a little bit?
You leave it to cook, you add the onions, and then right before serving, you take a whole bunch of basil and then some spring onions. And I'm going to show you, I'll just chop this and add it right before serving. So you don't want to cook these, but they will get a little bit wilted from the heat, but you're not boiling them. So it will be very refreshing to have that, again, the basil and the spring onions. And that's it. It's very simple to make.
And then with the lentils, today you're going to be cooking quinoa, right?
Yes.
So you have like a cup of quinoa and you're putting 2 cups of water, which you already have ready right there.
Yes.
So you're going to just put it on the stove to boil, right?
2 cups of water, and then 1 cup of
and you put it for like 20 minutes or so?
Yes.
Yeah. And that will be ready very soon. Do you want to put salt in this quinoa?
Yes.
I typically wash my quinoa before cooking it. Apparently it removes some of the bitterness of quinoa.
Oh,
Yes, and
I did not know that.
hopefully this one is not bitter.
Yes.
There are some variety that's bitter and some that's not. Do you cook it for 20 minutes? Or
Yes, 20
right?
minutes.
In a closed pot, correct?
Right.
Can you see it's already bubbling because we
Yeah.
have an induction stove.
Yeah,
With this protein, quinoa is really high in protein,
yeah,
and that protein,
yes.
and we really have a full meal just in this lot here. And I'm so glad you brought the greens in, because the greens now cut down and brings down the acid level of your, everything else, and just adds more
Yeah.
powerhouse of phytonutrients and the works.
And there's very little oil in here. The only oil in this dish is the very slight amount of oil that you have for making the onions a bit golden. That's it. So it's very low in fat.
And if somebody wants to avoid oil, you can use a little bit of broth to do the same thing, or water. You don't even have to have broth. You can just use water because you have a lot of flavor in there.
Yes.
So you to go on very low heat, and you do that way.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
So now we have right here the lentils. They're boiling a little bit. The flavors from the arrabiata sauce, or again, you can just use a mild tomato sauce, is all coming together. And we have these onions here that are getting almost golden. Once those are ready, we'll put them inside. And I'll show you what to do for right at the end. So I have these beautiful spring onions, and they're everywhere, and in the stores or some farms locally, you can find them. And I've washed them, and now I just trim this portion here really quick.
And a quick tip that can get into your garden, and you can have your own spring onions in a few weeks.
Yes,
Especially in spring, that happens very nicely.
it is. And all right, so I have that. I'll move this over to the side. And I just chop it, but not very finely. Just the white part, I try to do a little more fine, but the green one, you don't have to. So right here, again, always keep your fingers back so you don't catch that.
And another word of also, if you don't have arrabiata sauce, you can definitely use regular tomatoes.
Yes.
Because it will be flavored enough with the onions and the garlic and the spring onions. And you're adding lemon too, right? And the basil.
Yes.
So yes, don't feel pressured. Hey, I want to try that recipe, but I don't have that particular sauce.
Right.
So you can have regular tomatoes. So it would be good to go.
Yes. And you can also use chives if you'd prefer to have a milder
Yes, yes.
flavor here. And then I
That's
have
a very good tip, actually.
these beautiful, and this I definitely don't try to chop it finely. You can just add it. It will give it a bit more texture, almost like just green stuff in there that you can see. It's really quite, I leave it quite big. It just gives it such a wonderful flavor there.
Oh, the smell is just wonderful. Because I think you just brought it now, right? From
Yes,
literally
just
from farm and table.
Yes. The only part that I try not to add in there is these ones that are too thick. The
Any
stems.
reason why? Is it because you added right in the end?
You add it right at the end, so you're not. These are not going to get a chance to really soften. So I leave that out, and I have maybe one or two, but it's really just the ends there. So there you go. A little bit of lemon right at the end as well. And I believe, oh, we've got the onions ready. So this is all you want for the onions, just a tiny bit to have it a little bit golden. You don't want to fry them.
So do you add the garlic in there right now?
You can. That's actually a perfect time. And then again, you chop it. A good method to chop it is you crush it like that and then just go in. The garlic you don't want to really brown.
No, but you want the enzymes and everything to work in the garlic. It's
so
definitely a good time to add.
Yes, it's a perfect time.
The smell is just wonderful out here.
Yeah. And you can see I have a little bit of green that's going in there, but that's totally all right.
And then use that to mix it up a little bit so you've got some heat.
Yeah.
So are you ready to put it in?
Yes. Let's
Yes.
go.
And again, some people like to have the lentils absolutely mushy.
Yeah.
And others like it a bit whole. But I think just now this looks like it's going to be perfect.
Yes. And you can
At least the way I like
see,
it.
even with a little bit of time, the garlic has gone golden. So it only takes really for the garlic a little bit. So do not add the garlic in the beginning. Add it only right at the end when the onions are ready. All right, so that is ready. And this will, again, just come together. You have the tomato coming through. It's not too tomatoey, and you can use this as a hearty soup, and if you'd like it more like as a side dish, you can leave it in the oven for a little bit longer and the steam goes out. Or you can do a bit of both. Keep some as a soup and keep some as a side dish, and then we just add all this green and fold it right in there. And you can see I'm making a little bit of a mess in here, but
So whilst putting that in, I could do this as a one pot, one shot. I
Yes.
don't know if anybody heard of that term, but
Yes.
meaning you use one pot and cook everything in one.
Yeah.
So you'll start off by frying the onions and
Oh,
putting
yes.
this and you know, adding everything in that pot, and lastly add the lentils. And if you're using your instant pot for 10 minutes, then you'll have a perfectly ready, whether you want to call it soup,
yeah.
side dish, or any one of those, or you could even do it on the stove top like this, the same way.
Yeah.
But quite often I will boil my lentils, separate it, and do the way you did it too.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just, again, a super easy, super fast, and so very healthy and flavorful. And then right at the end, you can also add a little bit of lemon to it. I just squeeze a little bit, just make sure you've got the
Seeds out.
seeds out. I just squeeze a little bit. Wow,
If you want
the
to use
smell
that,
of
you
this
can.
flavor.
Yes, I can smell it.
I just go like this
Okay.
for this one,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there you
Even
go.
that lemon is just.
Yeah, the lemon is wonderful.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh,
And
right. You've got all
again,
your colors there.
Yeah, you've got the colors.
Colors of your rainbow.
And it's not just plain lentils. It's got a lot of little things in there that will just make you happy
Right.
and keep you healthy.
And again, the reason we brought this out to show you that
Yeah.
you have the split one, and this is the whole one, and this cooks half the time of this. And if somebody is having digestive issues with all the skin on that, you have that without the fiber.
Yeah.
Not as much fiber.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So with that, we'll be right back.
Yes.
We're ready to get to see this quinoa. See, we have the tails jutting out, which means it's cooked, right?
It looks great.
It looks great, right? And
Yeah.
and you already tasted and see. And then we have that gone already, which looks perfect.
Yeah.
And now we're going with a spinach and a sour cream dish.
Yes.
Okay, so we have the stove on. And you want to point out the ingredients we're using
Yeah.
without
So
lifting?
I have spinach. I have one bag in here, and there's one bag of spinach in here as well.
So when she says one bag is like 3 ounces, 8 ounces?
Let's see what exactly it says. It's six ounces.
So
So-
you've got one bag of 6 ounce and 2 bags of 6 ounce. It makes 12 ounce in one.
Yeah. So it says triple wash, so you can just use it. If you are buying spinach from a farm and you're washing it, wash it really thoroughly. And you do not need to worry about getting it all dry. Spinach has, you can just use it entirely in the dish. So I'll just add the spinach to here, and it will sizzle a bit.
It will go down.
It
so
will
you
go
can- yeah.
down. And there we go. And you can just turn it over. And you can see already, even though this, it's, oh,
So you're just cooking it to wilt, correct?
Yeah, you're cooking it to wilt. You're not overcooking it. This is a quick dish. And I have quite a bit of spinach in here because it really becomes
like nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. We'll be ready in a few minutes.
And by cooking it, you're cutting down a little bit on the, I think it's the oxalate, so it doesn't, and it's much easily absorbed in your system also, which is a fantastic thing.
You can see the ones that are at the bottom, how they're just right. So we're going to turn it over. And, oops.
Thankfully, we cleaned the stove.
Yes, it's easy to do. All right, while that is happening, I will crush a clove of garlic. And this dish does have garlic in it. You can also use it without garlic. If, say, you would prefer to have no garlic in it, you can definitely do it without. But I think it really adds a great tone to it. And so I will add a tiny bit of oil here. So here it is. And I will add this garlic just over to the side. You don't need to use another pan. You can just do it all right here. And then look at this. The whole big container of spinach has really come down, and now it's the right amount. And you work quickly at this point. And that is it. Take it off the heat because, and again, you have very little oil. You saw just a little bit of oil for the garlic. And you also add a bit of lemon juice right at the end. I have not added salt, and I do not add pepper in this dish. You leave the vegetable just as is. Of course, if you really would like to have pepper, please do. But you can just keep it just like this. Now, another version of this to make it an even more luxurious kind of dish is to add some sour cream. And again, you do the sour cream right at the end. You don't mix it, you don't cook it, because it's the type of thing that you're not going to add and cook. So you can just do this, you can add a little bit and mix it all around. And I'm going to save a little bit that's just plain, just so I can keep that one as a way to show it without the sour cream. And obviously in this pan, you'll just do the same thing with the second one. And this is with the sour cream, and it's really lovely. You can see you mix it all around, and I will add it to this other side.
Maybe you just want to put it in the white dish there?
Yeah, that would be perfect. So, okay. If you'd like to, you can skip the lemon when you add the sour cream, or you can still add lemon. Either way, it will be quite delicious. So those are the two ways to do a spinach, and it's so healthy, and again, very little oil, and just a great way for your spring dishes.
And now your final resistance, right? Your salad.
Yes.
So you're just going to be using these few ingredients here.
I am. And for the salad, I am also doing garlic again. So healthy for your heart. And
excuse me, I'm so sorry, I'm just reaching out.
No worries. So this dressing has been inspired for me by this book, Jacques Pepin's Kitchen, Cooking with Claudine. Claudine is his daughter. I've had this for so many years, and I love this book. And on page 194, he has a recipe called spinach salad with garlic dressing. Because we've already had spinach,
Spinach salad with garlic dressing.
Yes. We've already had spinach. I'm using a spring mix, and I'm doing it a little bit different. I do not use the red wine vinegar. I use apple cider vinegar. And but it's such a fantastic dressing. So let me show you. And it's very simple to do. It's some Dijon mustard. Dijon mustard is a bit spicy, so you know, after you make it the first time, you can always vary it. Could I have the whisk?
Yes, right here.
All right, so I have the whisk right here. I'll add the Dijon mustard in the bottom of my dish here, and I have the apple cider vinegar and then extra virgin olive oil. You don't need a lot. You definitely need some salt and pepper here, and again, these beautiful flakes. And you can also do a version if, say, you don't want garlic with it, you can just stop right here and you can mix it right this and you have it ready to go. This is a very, there you go. And you've got the vinaigrette, and that's all you'll need for a big container. But I'm gonna add the garlic because it does call for garlic. And again, I'm chopping another garlic. And thank you, Humsha. She actually cleaned all the garlic cloves for me. So this was so wonderful. So we've got the garlic right here.
That's just so simple, right? Anybody can put this together. You don't need to buy the expensive garlic salad dressing. You have it all in one just right here. And like you said, instead of using spinach, you're using the spring mix, and it's just perfect. Do you do you chop up your greens a little bit?
I really don't very much. What do you suggest?
I'm okay with either way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing for this dish, the garlic, you do want to kind of make another round through it. So you can see it's really much more finely chopped as opposed to the other dishes I made so far.
Yeah, I would use a microplane and get it really fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ground garlic.
Yeah, you can do that.
Again, depending your tolerance in your mouth and how you like the feel in your mouth.
Yes, exactly. And then we have the beautiful organic spring mix, and it has been triple washed, and we just add it right in here.
So we have a nice big bowl of salad now.
Yeah. Maybe I will take and move that.
Your hands are always the best tools as long as it's clean. Right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you can just mix it all. I have here 2. And it may seem like there wasn't that much dressing, but trust me, it's a very, very creamy dressing, and it will coat all the lettuce in here, the whole spring mix, and it's really, really wonderful. Okay. So I think that is it.
That is it? Wow.
That is it for a quick spring lunch, spring dinner. And you've got the lentils.
The lentils that will go with the quinoa. Or you can just eat it on its own. You don't have to. With the tails. And then you have your spinach and your salad. And we'll be right back. Irena, can you believe you've done this in such a short time? It's like just like magic, right? It's such quick things to go. And the help of the supermarket by having everything washed and tidied and everything, it went much quicker.
Absolutely. And you can do it at your house too. Just incredibly fast and incredibly easy.
All right. You want to help show how you're serving that? So if somebody wants to just have a bowl of that, you just bring it like that.
So if you'd like to just have it as a soup, you can, again, scoop up with more of the liquid.
A chunky soup.
Yes, a chunky soup.
And then you're going to leave the lentils, and we had this quinoa, a little bit of quinoa on one side.
And here, doing it a bit less liquid.
Okay, and then if somebody wants to add a little bit of salad on the side, you got it right there. So yes, to just recap, again, we cooked a nice little pot of quinoa, and we made a nice little dish of lentils, and we're serving that together to make a full meal. And these are accompaniments that you could add there too. So they all go all in all.
Yeah.
And yes, that's just wilted spinach with some garlic, and just you add a little bit of sour cream to add a little bit of mischievousness.
Yeah.
And yes, as you can tell, you know, we have a perfect spring meal. We have a perfect spring meal right here.
Yeah.
With all the colors of the rainbow.
Yes.
And your tummy is going to be so happy. And your system is so happy.
That's
full
exactly
of joy.
it.
You can be springing your steps on the spring this year.
Absolutely. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, Home Chef, for inviting me here. It's been so much fun, and I really hope you try these out at home and enjoy them.
Well, you want to taste it and let our viewers know what it tastes like. And I guess you need a spoon or a fork, right?
A fork. Yeah.
There you go.
Would you like to try it as well?
You have it, and we'll, as she tries it out again, to recap, we have lentils, quinoa,
The lentils are just great.
spring salad, and a very good tip is always to start your salad first, because then it helps you with digestion and everything else, and then you add in your very nice spinach dish with that. Yes, and
The spring mix is absolutely wonderful.
enjoy spring as we start with the beautiful greens.
Yes.
And thank you, Irena.
Thank you, Humsha. It's been wonderful to be a part of this.
Yes, and we thank ActonTV and the crew and everybody else for helping us bring up such a beautiful show again. And from our family to yours, happy spring till we meet again. I am your host, Hamsha Naidu, always available on YouTube and actontv.org. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.